Raise the federal gasoline tax? No way. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. Washington is full of talk about a bipartisan compromise on President Biden's more than $2 trillion infrastructure bill. Trouble is, part of the new package would include a hike in the federal tax on gasoline and diesel fuel. This is a bad idea. As the economy recovers, Americans will be increasing their driving. We're a large country, and autos are essential in a way that's not true in Europe, where population density is far higher than in most of the U.S. Although we have the most efficient railroad freight system in the world, much of the consumer industrial products we use are delivered by truck. Raising the cost of fuel now would be counterproductive, especially as energy prices are already rising thanks to inflation and the Biden administration's regulatory war against fossil fuel exploration, production, and transportation. The rationale for hiking the federal gas tax is twofold. One is that this exaction hasn't been hiked since the 1990s, and that in real terms it hasn't kept up with inflation. The answer to that is simple. So what? Many states, think California and New Jersey in particular, haven't been so bashful. A big chunk of what you pay at the pump is for taxes. The second rationale is the concept of user fees. Tolls for turnpikes and many tunnels and bridges are one example. The tolls are supposed to pay for construction and maintenance. Trouble is, politicians often use these fees for other purposes. One example is the tolls for tunnels and bridges in the New York metropolitan area. The money collected far exceeds what's needed for these particular structures. The same bad phenomenon is true on the federal level. The federal tax on gasoline and diesel fuel was enacted back in the 1950s to pay for and maintain the interstate highway system. Instead of direct tolls, the system would be financed by those taxes. The money went to what was called the Highway Trust Fund. What actually happened was that the trust fund was raided for other projects and has had to be replenished from time to time. So, the user fee concept sounds nice, but in practice has been routinely perverted. The amount of money in President Biden's so-called infrastructure bill that would actually be used for improving roads and bridges is minuscule, just under 6%. That is less than 6% of every dollar Biden wants to spend. Since these projects take years to actually carry out, the annual amount spent each year would be a very small part of the federal budget. Better to pay for this out of general funds rather than socking motorists and truckers with more direct taxes. The idea of raising federal gasoline and diesel taxes should be ditched. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.